For me, it was a process with coming out. Like at first I came out as bisexual, you know, liking both men and women. Then I came out as lesbian, liking only women. Then after that, I was like, well, it's deeper than that. I'm transgender, therefore it makes me straight since I only like women. So it was like a process coming out every time. But the very first time that I ever came out to my sister was coming out as bisexual when we were about like 9 and 8. And I was trying to figure out a way, like, how do I say it? And so what I did was I took a piece of paper and I drew the hangman game. And in order for her to solve it, I was like, I'm bisexual. So I was like, okay, you have to guess it now. And then when she finally guessed the whole thing, I was like, wait, you can't see it, take it and go to the bathroom. And so she took it to the bathroom. And then she came back like after a second, she was like, I knew, like I already knew this, why are you And I was just shaking the whole time. And now we just look back at it and we laugh. Cause it's like, I was just so nervous to tell her and she's just like, bro, I already knew all of this. Wait, that happened? All I remember was me saying, I remember playing with Jay and then you were playing with Anessa. During sophomore year, my best friend Jason, he came out to me as transgender as well. So I'm here like, okay, well, what does that mean? I've never heard the word before. So I went and I looked up information on what it means to be transgender. And as I was reading, I was like, yo, this is me, like this describes me. And then sophomore year, towards the end, I came out to my mother and my younger sister, she helped me come out to my mother because I was really nervous. And then for junior year, I had cut my hair off. I came to school, told everybody, I go by Ethan now. Use male pronouns, please, you know. And so what I really like about my classmates as well is that once they heard the teacher say Ethan, everybody was like a little confused, like what's going on? But nobody ever really questioned it. So they just straight was like, okay, Ethan, he, him, you know? But again, there are always a little clique of people who will have something to say. So, you know, they just talk about everything. Like, oh, what's in her pants or whatever, you know, saying all these things. And if my friends are in there, they're quick to shut it down. So I really appreciate my friends for that. Looking fresh. We're all teenagers, right? So even though we go out to educate other people, we still have a lot to learn ourselves. So when we're in the GSA, we meet Mondays after school. And we would have our counselor, Jennifer, she's the one who runs the whole thing. We would have her in here and we would just discuss things, you know, that are going around in the world, like LGBT related. We also try to see how we can, you know, better our school for other students who may not be out. Because as a school in the Bronx, there's a lot of, you know, homophobia, even though people may say, oh, it's a joke. So last year we had a workshop for teachers and staff. So the GSA led that workshop for them on how to make our school a much better and, you know, safer place for all students. You might as well just quit the game, just forfeit. So in school, it's more of my safe place rather than home is. Because at home, my family is religious. I mean, my dad is more religious than everybody else in the house. So I don't really have I wouldn't say a good relationship because I love my dad and he loves me. The thing is, when it comes to like this whole thing about being transgender and liking girls and, you know, when it comes to the LGBT community, anything about politics, those type of things, he doesn't want to hear it. So we don't really discuss these things. Now, on the other hand, with my mom, I have an extremely close connection with her. The thing is, ever since I came out as trans, that connection has kind of altered itself a bit because we would argue more. Like, she would ask me, why can't you just like guys? So one day I told her, well, it's not really a choice, it's just who I am. I'm trying to go see my girl, bro. Guys, we leaving. Basically, whenever we travel to Dominican Republic and we go see our other family members, my younger sister, she's 16. She has a boyfriend. They've been together for about 2 years now. So we go over there and, you know, the families, the aunts and everybody, oh, so, ¿cómo está el novio? Like, how's the boyfriend? You got a boyfriend? And then you can see by the way that I dress, by the way that I act, the way that I express myself, and they have the audacity to come to me and be like, oh, so what about your boyfriend? But my mom just doesn't want me to tell my family like, oh no, I have a girlfriend, and, you know, even though everybody knows. It's just she doesn't want me to say it because it makes it much more real for them. I have a surprise for her. I have like a little album where I put all her pictures, all our pictures, videos, you know, So my girlfriend, if she sees this, she's not gonna believe me, but I've never felt that way about a girl like first sight. Like, you know how you get the butterflies in your stomach? I've had girlfriends before, and it's like, I never really had this reaction towards them. We would beg to differ. I had a girlfriend once, and she would tell me, like, I want you to slow down your process because I'm not ready for you. I fell in love with, and she said my birth name, and then she was telling me, like, just slow down. So, you know, me being me, I was like, okay, I understand. And then a few months went by, and I'm like, I'm not for this. I gotta put myself first. That was when we was in her house. I've had cousins in Dominican Republic who are gay, lesbian, bisexual. So ever since I came out, they kind of look up to me and they're like, okay, I'm gonna follow in your footsteps because I see that even though it's hard for you, you're happier living as who you are. And even though it's still hard for my mom, she has become someone that the other parents in my family go to. Like, they're like, how do you deal with your kid being like this? And my mom would just tell them, look, you have to love them and respect them. And, you know, like, I had to hug my mom because it's like, I know this is hard for you, but I know that you're trying. And the fact that you're, you know, giving advice to all these other parents about accepting their kids, it's like, I really love you. Like, this crazy. This tattoo has a lot of meaning to me. It says power on it. So my next tattoo, I'm not sure where I'm gonna do it, but it's gonna say patience. Because I'm telling you, for something like this, you need so much patience with everyone from friends to family to people on the street. You need so much patience with them. So my advice for, you know, other people would be have patience with yourself, have patience with other people because your time will come. And on top of that, if somebody does try to say something to you, if it's bothering you, speak to someone. And I just think all young people specifically, since we're so impatient with everything, I want to get out the house, I want to go do this, I want to do that. Just have patience.